What's up, everybody? KG here. Deep in the code of this matrix that we occupy, or so they say, but there seems to be a lot of truth in that. And so today, we are going to try and decode what is going on in this PulseChain matrix. There is a lot of moving parts, much nuance. We've got the market doing interesting things. We've got the community doing interesting things. We've got the ecosystem doing awesome, not awesome, interesting things. So we're going to do our best to dive into that, kind of unpack what's going on here, and answer any questions anybody may have. If you're noticing a little fuzziness around my person here, I'm trying out a green screen. And for those that may or may not know green screens, there's a lot of nuance to green screens too. So I've gotten it as perfect as I can for this stream, but it'll only get better over time. So thank you everybody for tuning in. This is going to be a good stream, and I hope that you walk away with a lot of value and feeling like you better understand what's going on in the PulseChain ecosystem. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Got my own keys and my own coin. Gotta protect this money. Took too long for me to get it. Can't let them take this from me.
Welcome back. Shout out to our friends KC Crypto, Korean Investor, and Base God for making that awesome internet money track. If you haven't heard it, it is live on our YouTube channel. So I recommend you go and check that out because those guys are more than hip hop artists. They are philosophical geniuses. What's going on, Ramon? What's going on, Goran? If somebody could give me a thumbs up just to make sure you can hear me loud and clear. This is my first live stream in a while, so I want to make sure everything checks out as it should. So where I wanted to start with this stream is I wanted to go ahead and pull up the PulseChain charts to see what that sentiment looks like rather. So let's go ahead and pull up PulseChain here. Cool. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Share my window. Here it is. All right. So here we are on Deck Screener. And what I have is I've selected, little moth likes the light. I selected the PulseChain blockchain as my search criteria here. And if you're new to PulseChain, welcome in. It is a very cool community, very cool ecosystem. As Internet Money, we support all EVM blockchains, but we are native to PulseChain and it is our home base. So we like to keep continuous PulseChain coverage because it is an ecosystem that we really support and believe in. So what you can see here on PulseChain, as many of you may have noticed, is a lot of red. Some may even say there's blood in the streets. But basically, everywhere you look, you see some red. Now, you do see some green here and there. We've got Hex up 13% on the day. which many are attributing to Power City's launch of their hex-backed stablecoin. So congrats to the Power City team on launching that. That is a very cool product and protocol. If you're familiar with Liquidity on Ethereum, I don't actually know the official name of the protocol. I think it's called Flex, but it is just like Liquidity on Ethereum, but instead of being backed by ETH, it is backed by Hex. Power City has also launched a version of this for PulseX, and the Liquid Loans team has launched a version of this, but for Pulse. So we actually have now 4 native stable coins on PulseChain. We have PXDC, which is the PulseX backed stable coin. We have USDL, which is the PLS backed stable coin. We have HEXDC, which is the Hex backed stable coin. And we have Coast, which is, to my understanding, the fiat backed stable coin. You're able to go directly from fiat to the Coast coin and vice versa. So right now on PulseChain, 4 native stable coins, and we also have a few bridged in stable coins from Ethereum that are having, or that have serious adoption on PulseChain. We have DAI, which seems to be the major bridged in stable coin. We have USDC, USDT. So, and there may be others. I'm not trying to leave any of the bridged ones out, but to my knowledge, those are the 3 top bridge. So we have 7 viable, oh, that was 8, 7 viable stable coins on PulseChain right now, 4 of which are native and 3 of which are immutable, trustless, no middleman, decentralized, admin key free. So if you're out there and you're saying, oh, PulseChain is a dead chain or PulseChain lacks innovation, well, I could argue that point simply with just the stable coins. And that's just one thing we have going on PulseChain. So shout out to our stablecoin builders. We certainly appreciate you. And all that stemmed from people are attributing the Hex pump today to Power City's launch of their Hex-backed stablecoin. And I mean, you do see major green candle. We do have some dumpage here, but check out the Hex price overall. And I'm not going to draw lines on this chart and act like I'm the TA expert. I leave that to some of my other friends. But what I do like to look at is, at the very least, the market sentiment. And the chart says a lot about the market sentiment. You can see that Hex on PulseChain is almost at an all-time low, which is not necessarily to say it's a bad thing if you believe in Hex long term. But that is up for you to decide, because we do not give financial advice on this channel. We also have HOA and Dick with Butt up on the day. We have Solid X up on the day. Blast token. So we got a few meme coins outside of Hex. Not calling Hex a meme coin, just saying. Other coins that are not Hex that would be classified as meme coins are up on the day. Let's check out Pulse itself. I'm going to click into 9inch real quick just to get the wrap Pulse contract. So I can paste it in. Whether you look at log or auto, it really doesn't matter. So don't say look at log. People that like to do that. Look, I'll even look at log. It's fine. How much different is the auto? Not really that different. It's kind of a little bit more up. Anyways, so Pulse sitting at 4062, which if you've been around the PulseChain community for some time and you have followed the sacrifice, you'll know that the day one sacrifice price for PulseChain was 3 zeros and a 1. So many people use that as kind of the metric for launch price. And even though it didn't launch at that, that was the earliest possible point you could have gotten into PulseChain was 3 zeros and a 1. Excuse me. Not considering the volume bonus multiplier, but we're not going to go deep into that. For all intents and purposes, the earliest and cheapest you could have gotten into Pulse when it first existed as an idea during the sacrifice phase was 3 zeros and a 1. Now, when the Pulse price drops below that threshold, many consider that as being down, even though somebody may have bought at 4 zeros and a 3-4, and they may be up a 2x right now. Some people are undeniably in that category. But the general community sentiment is that 3 zeros 1. So about this price level right here is where the Pulse starting price should be. And that is the general metric that people use to gauge the sentiment of is Pulse bearish or bullish. Now, if you're new to PulseChain, if you're familiar with Ethereum, PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum, and PLS is the native coin to PulseChain, like ETH is to Ethereum. So this really is the main market indicator for how is the overall PulseChain community doing. This is kind of a general outlook of mine, is that you can gauge how the health of the chain by the health of the native coin, right? Because you could have little pockets of meme coins or individual DeFi protocols doing well on the chain, and they could be in their isolated little bubbles. But overall, if the native coin is doing good, that means the overall chain at that moment in time is doing good. Now, some can stand to argue me on that. That's fine. I'd love to debate that with you. But I think that is a good rule of thumb to gauge a blockchain based upon. Well, I mean, gauge it based on sentiment, because there's still a lot of incredible DeFi happening on PulseChain. High price or not high price, the DeFi is still there. But to gauge the sentiment, that's a really good way to do that, in my opinion. So with that said, we're down about 40% from the day one sacrifice price. So this to me is a bearish sentiment on PulseChain, and we actually were having downtrends. We're looking at the daily candles, right? So the 24-hour is down the last 2 days. Maybe if we go the 4-hour, still trending down, I guess, with a couple green candles there. On the 1-hour, kind of flat-ish. In my personal, just when I check the price throughout the day, I've kind of seen Pulse fluctuating between 4061-ish and 4068-ish. But as I've been viewing Pulse price over the last few weeks, it is trickling downward. So again, what I said with Hex, if you believe in Pulse long term, well, then these are levels you might want to look at as an entry point. If you are questioning if you believe in Pulse long term, which is a completely fair thing to question, things are, if you're being an objective person, bearish right now, you may want to consider if this is an exit point for you, because the price can certainly go lower. This can go to zero. Anything can go to zero in crypto. Nothing in crypto is guaranteed. And anybody who tells you that, you should be skeptical. And even the overall volume on the Pulse pair and the Rat Pulse DAI pair, to my knowledge, is the most traded direct Pulse pair. So this is the volume that I tend to look at. I have seen days, not even at Pulse's max bullishness, I've seen days where the volume is 30 million, 25 million, easy. Well, you can see the volume today is 7.4 million. And if we go back to the 24-hour volume on PulseChain in total based on what Dex Screener is tracking. Now, granted, Dex Screener doesn't track FUX, which is another main PulseChain DEX. So you're missing some of that volume there. But what you can still use, and maybe some of the other DEXs, I'm not entirely sure, but let's see, PulseX 9-inch. So if you look at the top, these are the DEXs that Dex Screener is actually tracking. So it says 9mm. Okay, so I don't know if that's 9mm V2. I do see 9mm V3, so that wouldn't be any of the V2 volume. PulseX, I know it is tracking PulseX V1 and V2. So anyways, long story short, it's missing some DEXs. So this number is not 100% accurate, but what you can do with this number is you can still gauge the overall volume that Dex Screener is tracking, which is you can basically extrapolate to the other DEXs that it is missing. So when I said that the Wrap Pulse die pair could have a 24-hour volume of 25 to 35 million, that's one pool on one DEX. The overall PulseChain volume for all tokens on all DEXs that Dex Screener is tracking, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 DEXs tracking all tokens across all of those. We only have 37 million in volume, when one pair on one DEX could have been almost that in a more bullish place. So again, I think this is another indicator that PulseChain is overall bearish. And now I'm talking about all this, we're leading up to something. We're leading up to the sentiment as well. And we're going to break that down. But it's important to know, to set the foundation of why people might be a little depressed. Okay. Let's continue down our list a little bit, see if we see any other greens. The Tangang ecosystem tokens seem to be in the green. Axis, welcome in, brother. Good to see you. I am doing light, TA, but not from a TA perspective, from a market sentiment perspective. So anything you think worth considering, drop it in the chat. Good to see you. So the Tangang ecosystem seems to be in the green today. Oh, here's another interesting thing about the PulseChain ecosystem. So again, for those of you who may or may not know, there seems to be 3 major meme coin communities within PulseChain. You've got the Tangang, which is HOA, Dick with Butts, this new token, Cheaton, and they've got some others. Then you've got the 9-inch crew, which is another player in the meme coin space, and they've got the 9-inch DEX. They've also got the 9-inch token, the BBC token. They've got a couple other tokens. Poor Pleb, PP. And then they actually, shout out to BitBoy, they actually helped BitBoy launch his meme coin on PulseChain, the Bromance token. And then the other group is the Atropa ecosystem, which is coins like Teddy Bear, Atropa itself, PDI. So that group. And then you've got other ancillary groups that may have a coin here or there, or maybe a couple tokens. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I've identified 3 major meme coin groups and then all the other decentralized ones. So if you ever hear me talking about a meme coin group, I'm not biased or impartial to any of them. I am just observing the market as it is. Yes. And Ramon says the solid index, which I thought about that one, but I didn't want to consider that a meme coin group in case it wasn't. But if it is, there is the other community, the other ecosystem of the Axis token, Hexfire, SolidX, and maybe the Nope token, and that's all kind of in there together. So there's a fourth group of these ecosystems within the PulseChain ecosystem. So there's a lot happening. And what's interesting is you kind of see these ecosystems rise and fall together in their own little microcosms. So if you have the most macrocosm is the global financial market, I guess. Then you have the microcosm, one layer down of the microcosm, which is individual countries, I guess, like United States and Asian countries and European countries within. Okay, so that's one level of the microcosm. Then you go into another level of the microcosm, which is the crypto market in general. Then you go into another level of the microcosm, which is the PulseChain market. Then you go into another level of the microcosm, which is these little ecosystems within. So we're like 4 or 5 layers into the microcosm. Okay. Now, with the microcosms within the microcosms, now that I'm saying microcosms so much, it sounds like a weird word. So I'm going to try to stop saying microcosm. Microcosms, they seem to be sort of detached. They can go on their own little runs. So all that to say, back to my original point, seems like right now the Tengang microcosm is having a run. You can see a lot of their coins are in the green today. Geez, McGree's, this moth won't leave me alone. Sorry. All right, well, I guess we have a guest on the show. Let's see what else we got here. Mintra is up on the day. Congratulations, Mintra. If you're not familiar with Mintra, that is an NFT marketplace on PulseChain. Shout out Gerardo. Hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, obviously, Hex is up. Bromance. Let's check on Bromance. Yeah, so it looks like a little down and to the right since launch. But what Bromance has that's interesting is it has BitBoy. And BitBoy is a pretty big influencer out there. You know, sure, you could pay attention to the drama that BitBoy went through, but show me the human being that's had a perfect track record and has never had a fall from grace. I'll show you a liar. So it's best for us, in my opinion, to extend a little bit of forgiveness and understanding. I personally see BitBoy as on the comeback, on the rise. And I think he's a very good representative to have out there to talk about and help spread the word about PulseChain. He is out there networking and engaging in many other communities. I've seen him big in the XRP community, the Cardano community, maybe the Solana community. But anyways, this is just my opinion, he has an additional scrutiny. If his coin is perceived as a rug pull, well, that's not good for his brand image. Now, he may not care. It may not affect his brand image. I don't know. But in my opinion, this meme coin sort of extends beyond PulseChain by nature of BitBoy extending beyond PulseChain. So, and they also had an airdrop, I believe, to his other coin, his bin coin holders. So there was a lot of dumpage there. So the bro token is actually one that is on my watch list, so to speak. I keep up with this one. I watch this one because BitBoy is an interesting character in our community, and I'm interested to see what this one will do. And that was ultimately to say that even though it's down today, it has an element in its meme coinness that other meme coins isolated to the PulseChain community do not have. Now that could be net positive. That could be net positive. It could be net negative. Only time will tell. InternetMoney.io/time. Completely unrelated. That was just a time joke for my internet money community. Shout out. McSlammin says, LOL, that moth is a legend. Can you check out the ticker DWNB? Sure, let's check it out. DWNB. It is actually a token that I saw some time ago. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. That one is up. Oh, that one's got $57 in liquidity. Here, let's do this. Let's look it up this way instead. I'm going to grab the contract address and I am going to paste it here. I went too quick. Okay. Yeah, see on Deck Screener, it's cool. If you grab the contract address and you just paste it there, but you don't click enter, you can see all of the pairs associated with it. So this one looks like a very low liquidity asset. Obviously, a play with the dick with butt. It's dick with no butt. And it looks like its most liquid pair is $539, which is actually crazy. At $539, someone could come in for $100 and this thing could do a major green candle. So in this $57 pool, I mean, you could do crazy things with that, which is why it's probably up 20%. Look at this one, up 43% with the $7 in liquidity. Oh, wow. So it was flat for a while, did some major pumpage, had a dip, but still hasn't hit its low. It is still up. And it's a dick with no butt. He's very sad. He cries tears. The meme coin space is... I would be lying to you guys if I said that I didn't get so much comedic relief out of the meme coin space. You can say what you want about it, but some of these guys are absolutely hilarious. Good for you. I don't know if there was something you wanted me to check out specifically, Charlie, but good to see you. Good to hear from you. Great day to you, KG. Good to see you. I create. Academiciated. Good to see you. DJ Pollywood win. Good to see you. All right. So let's talk about why we're talking about this. Why we're talking about charts. Why we're talking about dick with butts and dick with no butts and stable coins and PulseChain and all this. Why we're talking about it. There's a lot going on in PulseChain. Again, if you're being objective, which I strive to be, PulseChain is kind of like a soap opera right now. You know what I mean? A lot of the different groups in general, and not even just the four we spoke about. There's many more groups on PulseChain. It's like a social war where you have alliances, enemies, social capital, social ammunition. It's social warfare. And each group is trying to one-up itself over their enemy group. Now, not all groups are involved. And that's okay too. Us with internet money, we do our very best to stay neutral. As silly as it may sound, this is how we perceive ourselves. Right here. Here you go. This is what I wanted to find. Right here. This is internet money. Okay? The watering hole. Where all these different groups, for a moment, they can come to rest. They can refresh themselves. do what they need to do in DeFi, have their privacy protected, have their security protected, and have a neutral playing field. That is what we strive to be. And so the purpose of this stream, it wasn't to call anybody out. There's enough of that out there. The purpose of this stream wasn't to go in on anybody. The purpose of this stream was to, in a way, hopefully rally the troops, bring everyone back to the watering hole. I'm not naive to think that we're going to stop the fighting. I'm not. People are going to fight. It's what humans do. We've had warfare since there was cavemen that one caveman had a cave that the other caveman wanted. There's always been warfare. It's probably always going to be warfare. In every respect, humans fight. It's what humans do. But I want to remind everybody that things are bearish right now. Things are depressive. Things are invigorating. People are mad. People are sad. People are hurt. People are losing money left and right on PulseChain right now. And that's not a great place to be. We want to be making money. But if we pull ourselves out of that microcosm just a little bit, Ethereum's down. Bitcoin's down. Other things are down. And you know what they say? That green candles bring the positive attitudes. And I agree with that completely. My whole pitch for bringing this up is at least just take a moment before you go in and start attacking somebody. Think about, A, is this good for my product that I believe in, that I'm a brand ambassador for? If the answer is no, consider stopping. Second layer, is this action beneficial for the overall PulseChain ecosystem? If you believe that that answer is yes, consider proceeding. If you believe that that answer is no, consider stopping. Because at the end of the day, none of the social warfare matters if PulseChain fails. If PulseChain fails, every single group is affected, most likely negatively. We only have so much energy and time in a day. We should consider and practice focusing that on how can we build this thing, being PulseChain, into something that people in the crypto space can rally behind, a thing that people in the crypto space can more easily get into, which is what we're constantly doing at Internet Money, and how we can spread awareness. The more people that win on PulseChain, the more people are going to be driven to check PulseChain out. We need wins. Wins, wins, wins. That's what I wanted to focus on. And we're going to circle back to that again here in just a moment. What I did want to do is Nick Slammin says, time is killing it, bro. Congrats. Let's check it out. We're going to circle back. Hey, and if you're watching this and you're liking what we're talking about, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it. If you really like something that I was talking about, please clip it, share it with the world. Let's go ahead and share the screen again. Let me go to the 4 hour, I guess. So this is the time chart. And time is still up from its launch price at about 306. It's up to 2016. So a little over a 2x, about a 2.5x. And then what was that? 30? Yeah. So actually, that was basically the all-time low. I guess 3 zeros. No, yep. So that was the all-time low. So from launch, and Time actually launched basically one of the first days PulseChain launched. It was out very, very early. And it has not hit its all-time low. So even in this deep, deep bearishness, Time has not hit its all-time low on PulseChain. As a matter of fact, many people are still up. And now those of us that know and are familiar with what this PulseChain community has coined Hart's Law, or other communities may call it liquidity bonding. Time is subject to decreases in price by nature of Pulse being decreasing in price. So if you look, Time is actually down 0.5% on the 24-hour, but yet it's up $400 in positive buy pressure. So that should mean that the price would be up. So, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that because of this, because the buy volume outweighs the sell volume, the price should be price positive. But because the price of Pulse is also dipping, is what's making it overall price negative. I'm going to have 1 million Time tokens. 900,009 to go. Congrats. Keep grinding, brother. Time down on SAC rate. Time on ETH still a thing. Time is not down on SAC rate by any metric that you measure it by. SAC rate was, if you participated in the first sacrifice, was, and my big monitor can't even calculate the number. That's fantastic. So I need to pull out a phone calculator real quick. 308 was SAC price. So you're actually over a 2x on SAC price. So that statement is not accurate. And Time on ETH is still a thing. But the thing about Time on ETH, and this chart has a weird, funky looking chart. So this major red candle here, Time on Ethereum is very low liquidity, as you can see. And so what happens when you see these types of candles early on in low liquidity assets, it's 99 out of 100 times a bot comes in, buys it up because the liquidity is so low, sells the price, and when the liquidity actually corrects to a normal, healthy market level, you see the actual price chart, so to speak. So Time on Ethereum is down. But here's another metric that, let me get off here real quick. Here's another metric that plays into this will load here in 1 sec. I ain't sold a single token according to MetaMask. I'm down. My bad if wrong. I'll go to exchange now. Well, maybe part of the problem is that you're using MetaMask. Just saying. And now, if you're talking about Time on Ethereum, not PulseChain, that is a big difference. So if you could clarify that there, I'd appreciate that. This is what I'm getting at, McSlammin. It is making my Pulse bag heavier day by day. So if you go to internetmoney.io/stats, you can see what our download stats are. These just got updated today. We're at a total of 42,046 downloads with 779 new downloads in between this period here. You can see the breakdown by wallet downloads by platform. And if you want to download it, you can click right there. So part of what dictates the time price is how much dividends are being earned by time holders. So for those that are new to time, it's simply the Internet Money Wallet has an in-app swap feature on PulseChain, Ethereum, BNB Smart Chain, and Polygon. A fee is charged when you swap from one asset to another. 100% of that fee is distributed to time holders. Now, the more volume a chain does, the more dividends are paid to time holders, obviously. So one thing that actually helps support or hurt the time price is how good dividends are. So you can see on PulseChain, obviously our highest dividend yielding chain at $167,000 worth of Pulse has been distributed to time holders. Now keep in mind, this is not 167,000 at market value. This is 167,000. It records the value as it hits the contract. Whereas on Ethereum, we've only seen about $10,000 in dividends. On Binance, we've only seen about $600 in dividends. And on Matic, we've only seen about $200 in dividends. So you can clearly see, excuse me, I need water. You can clearly see that our PulseChain community is the strongest by far. So that is what helps a lot of the support the price. Now, as dividends increase on Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon, I suspect you will start to see prices increase on there as well. And we have begun doing a lot of outreach to those communities, and we will continue to do that. If you are a Internet Money community member, please go out and preach the gospel to these other communities so we can grow. And my moth friend is back. Moth greases, man. So that we can grow the product there. Now, something else to look at too that really helps time on PulseChain. Time on PulseChain is our flagship token right now. The other ones are growing up around it. Let's go check out our DApp. And we have a comprehensive walkthrough of the DApp on our YouTube channel. So I'm not going to go through a comprehensive walkthrough of this. But what I wanted to show you is that time is deflationary. And it has a buy and burn, which if you're not familiar with buy and burns, it physically buys time off the open market regardless of price and burns it out of existence. So we actually do have this on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. It's not on Polygon yet, but you can see here that so far about $6,000 worth of Pulse have gone into buying time off the market and burning it from existence. So $6,000, that is, or $5,500, that is a real position for somebody. You can see that that was a total of 57 million Pulse and a total of 2.5 million time have been bought and burned, which is about 0.12% of the supply. So as long as people are swapping, doesn't matter what the price is, time is getting bought and burned. Every swap in the Internet Money Wallet actually buys and burns time, Axis, Texan, IM, Hex, PulseX, Inc., and Pepe. And it's not an additional cost to the user. The buy and burns are holders of time. So here in the time buy and burn, you have about 3.8% of the time supply deposited, buying and burning time. So dividends plus the buy and burn are two factors that we have in our ecosystem to help support the time price. So the buy and burn is healthier on PulseChain. The dividends are healthier on PulseChain. The community's bigger on PulseChain. Those are three very strong metrics that we have to help support the price, which are not yet present on Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon. Now, some could see that as bearish. Some could see that as opportunity. We're not going anywhere. We're building. We're here. So with time, no pun intended, I foresee that if adoption is successful on those chains, we'll mimic this similar behavior that we see on PulseChain. Now, I can't guarantee that. Isn't financial advice. You have to take your own risks, but take this as a proof of concept. And if we can build as strong of a community with the same volume metrics in the swap volume, I don't see why it wouldn't replicate. Well, that brings us to about 46 minutes. So I'm going to keep this about an hour. And so far, we've covered market sentiment. We've covered some things around internet money, which we're going to have some awesome updates soon on internet money. So stay tuned there. Follow us on Twitter, like and subscribe here. And so that way you could stay up to date. All relevant links are down in the description below. Covered market sentiment, covered some internet money talk, covered some ecosystem. And I'm just going to go back and reiterate some cool things that are happening in our ecosystem. So I do want to give a shout out to the meme coin communities, keeping everybody entertained at the very least. And some people are making gains, and talk is happening to some extent. Onboarding is occurring to some extent. So shout out to the meme coiners. Again, shout out to Power City on their launch today. Congratulations there. What else is going on in the PulseChain ecosystem? Oh, shout out to the PulseChain Foundation. They just got a amicus brief, a second amicus brief to support Richard Hart in his fight against the corrupt rug pulling SEC of the United States government. Hey, look, I'm an American citizen. I am pro good government. The SEC right now is not good government. Who got hurt on the SEC announcement? What investor class did they serve? They hurt each and every one of us that is in PulseChain today. Even if you are an American citizen, are not an American citizen, even if you hate America and want nothing to do with America, the SEC says they have the right to govern you as well. Kind of funny if you think about it. Actually, it's kind of sadistic. They're using crypto as a Trojan horse to police non-United States citizens. I enjoy being a United States citizen. I am choosing to subject myself to the United States laws and regulations. Some aren't, and yet you are still subject to them. If you want to be mad at anybody, you need to be mad at the United States government, and in this case, more specifically, the SEC. So when I say the corrupt SEC, when they come in with announcements like, hey, we're targeting Richard Hart to protect investors, they're actually not protecting investors at all. Their announcement has only hurt the price. Their announcement has only hurt the bullishness. Richard Hart is suppressed socially, I'm assuming. That's why we're not seeing him stream. It's probably legal advice, and I don't blame his attorneys. Probably legal advice saying don't go out in public. So the number one spokesperson for PulseChain is also being suppressed, further hurting the PulseChain community. And if the SEC wins against PulseChain, I don't know. I don't know what the recourse would be. Maybe Richard gets a cease and desist. Maybe they, I don't know. I don't know what they would do. Let's not even play that game. Point being is most likely it's going to be something negative, and it's going to help them. It's going to help put money in their pockets, help their prestige to their colleagues at the water jug. it's going to hurt you and me, most likely. So when they say they're protecting the investor class, they're lying. They are absolutely either A, they're lying, and that is nefarious, and that shows their crookedness and their evilness, or B, they legitimately think they're doing good, and that just shows how ignorant they are. Either way, the result is the same, in that human beings, American citizens or not, are getting hurt and damaged financially and emotionally as a result of their malpractice. That's a fact. The fight for Richard and PulseChain is a fight for crypto. It is a fight for your freedoms. It's a fight for your rights. All that to say, the PulseChain Foundation has come up with a second amicus brief to help that fight, part of the ecosystem. If I'm missing anything exciting in the ecosystem, please let me know. But other than that, it seems to be more drama than innovation right now. And so, look, I'm okay with drama. I like soap operas. Let's be honest. A lot of it's amusing. It's great. But at the same time, I think DeFi innovation is a lot cooler. I think building is a lot cooler. Even if you're meme coiners, building meme coins, I still think that's cool. Let's just build. That's my ultimate sentiment. So, parting words, parting thoughts. Let's all do what we can to keep PulseChain top of mind. Let's all do what we can to make sure that we do our best to allocate every action towards an action that will positively benefit PulseChain and crypto. And if we're focusing on benefiting PulseChain, then we can all find common ground, whether we agree or disagree with each other. If we can agree that this person has the sincerest intentions to help and promote PulseChain, who are we to tell them that they're wrong? There are human beings of all different walks of life, speaking all different languages, with different cultural preferences, backgrounds, religious, philosophical, that view the world in a different way, relate to the world in a different way. Maybe that person that you disagree with is going to resonate with that person that you don't have reach to. And so we shouldn't stifle somebody's voice unless it is objectively malicious. And now that is a gray line, a gray area, but it's pretty obvious when someone's being malicious. So barring any outright scammers and scumbags, we should fight for each other's voice to have reach so that each individual voice can reach that person that only each individual voice can. Some voices will reach one person. Some voices will reach 1 million people. But every single person that we onboard into this ecosystem, every single person that adopts PulseChain or some product on PulseChain is a win for PulseChain. And the more wins that PulseChain gets, the more wins everybody gets. And there's a point in time where this statement applies. We all win when we all win. Why can't everybody win? Oh, KG, world peace, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Everybody can win in their own right. And I'd rather strive for that and fail along the way than strive for the opposite and accept defeat. And with that, we're going to end the stream with the Internet Money Anthem. It's 2 minutes. Beautiful. Shout out to Base God for making it. Follow us, internetmoney.io. Everything you need to find, you can find there. All the links are in the description of this video. if you wish to connect with me personally, my links are down there as well. Check me out on the new Connect app. I do my best to respond to email, to messages, emails, everything, but it has become impossible. I am overwhelmed. So if you go to Connect, you can always get me on there. They have a really cool system. So you will get 100% response rate from me on Connect. And also, there's a challenge going on that if we win, I'll get to sit down with the founder of Connect. And of course, I'm going to talk to him about the things I believe in, which are internet money and PulseChain. So if you have a few moments, download Connect. Please support me there. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can 100% get a hold of me without fail there. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. My name is KG. I am the founder of Internet Money. And until next time, peace.
What is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is more than just money. Cryptocurrency is a lifestyle, a philosophy, an ecosystem, the means by which human beings to attain financial freedom, not just in the sense of multiplying their investment, but giving humans the ability to interact with money in any way that they see fit. And if that way doesn't already exist, that's the beauty of crypto, is you can create it. And that's what we've done here. Internet money is the future. Internet money is the future. What is internet money, you ask? Well, it's just that. The future. Internet money. Internet money is the future. Internet money.
Base God on the blockchain.
Internet money. Internet money. Financial freedom. Internet money. Internet money is the future. Internet money. Internet money is the future. Internet money.